Shalom Aleichem, beautiful, wonderful Chevra. So last time we spoke about the glorious experiences that could be experienced in the process of healing. Now, think for a moment, as an individual heals, a family, a community, think if all of mankind, the human species, that we heal from our traumas, our multi-generational traumas, our traumas that have been with us over decades, the layers and layers and layers that are in between us. Just imagine if we could rid ourselves of those layers and then come to meet essence. It would be a completely different world. Healing those traumas, it would be magnificent for us. It would be so good for us. So now the question is, where do we start? Where do we start in order to move forward? What I would like to suggest is that we need to make shifts in our thinking. We have to make shifts in the way that we look at this world, the way that we hear this world, the way that we experience this world. And the first wisdom teaching I can share with you is something that I learned from one of my teachers, Rabbi Gerzi, and it's found in the teachings, the writings of the students of the Baal Shem Tov in Savas Rivash Aleph. And the beauty of this is that when we make shifts in our thinking, when we shift from a exile mentality to a redemption mentality, it changes everything. So much so as one of our wonderful teachers, the Ramchal, writes in Klach Pitchei Chochma Memtet 49, the Ramchal writes that when you are faced with darkness, when you meet adversity, what is this? It's one thing and one thing only. It's an opportunity for light. That when we meet difficulties, when we meet challenges, it's an opportunity for a revelation that's never been before. That can only really be met if we have shifts in our perception, in our frameworks of thinking. So a question we can ask is like this, and it's a question that a lot of us have heard before. Are we a physical being having a spiritual experience? Or are we a spiritual being having a physical experience, and what's the difference? Well, if we are a physical being having a spiritual experience, physicality is primary and spirituality is secondary. And what is physicality? Physicality is the world of layers of interpretation, the world of multiplicity, the world of fracture, the world of differentiation, the world of separateness, the world of sides. However, when we are living a life of physicality and secondary is spirituality, even secondary is lesser on the mindset, on the way that we're looking at this world. So we don't mind to get into an argument. That's really the difference. I don't mind to have an irk with somebody, to get upset with somebody. If we are a spiritual being having a physical experience, what we want to understand is that spirituality is primary and physicality is secondary. And what is spirituality? It's unity, it's oneness, it's integration. Spirituality is patience. Spirituality is the understanding that we're not from this world, as the Baal Shem Tov in Savasari Vashavav tells us. We're aliens. I'm a spiritual being having a physical experience, so it does matter to me how I manifest. It does matter to me how I meet that next moment. To meet that next moment with love, to meet that next moment with dignity, to meet that next moment with compassion, to meet that next moment with respect, and all of the good, amazing words that can come up in your mind that you would expect a spiritual being to be like. So my friends, you and I, all of us, in essence, we are spiritual beings having physical experience, and not a physical being having a spiritual experience. And our primary should be the spirit, and our secondary should be the physical. What does spirituality become? What is the definition in the way that we are sharing spirituality here? It's being a conscious practitioner that what I do matters. You see, my friends, a spiritual being stands up with pride. We can be spiritual activists to bring more goodness into this world. That's what a spiritual being is, to bring more peace, love, tranquility, calm into this world, more excitement, joy, and love. respect. A spiritual being having a physical experience is a being that on their mind as they meet each moment, I'm remembering that I'm exiled from the one. I'm exiled from the yichud. I'm exiled from the ahava, from love. A spiritual being having a physical experience is conscious. My next moment, is that going to birth greater unity, greater oneness, greater love, greater respect or not? And if it's not, I stay away from it. If it's not, I don't do it to the best of my ability. Now it's true to say, my friend, sometimes we fall. Sometimes I become a physical being having a spiritual experience. But our wanting is, when I've remembered that I'm a spiritual being having a physical experience, to get back to that level of consciousness, to make that shift of consciousness. So right now, we can ask ourselves, how am I going to meet the next moment? I'm going to meet the next moment and ask, what can I give to this moment? What can I bestow to this moment? How can I make this world a brighter, better, healthier world, or not? Be'ezras Hashem, we should all remember, with strength, with vigor, with vitality, with mamash, the best of the best, you and I, we're all spiritual beings having a physical experience. And may we, mamash, live with blessing. May we live with resilience, vibrance, and lots of energy.